It was the opportunity to showcase a culture that's very important to me. It was the opportunity to showcase.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, famous movie star and former professional wrestler Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson describes how the expert in anything was once merely a beginner. Johnson tells the Los Angeles Lakers to put things into perspective when they think about doing whatever they want to do in life, and to be grateful for everything they've earned.
This idea and this notion that you can be anything you want, you can accomplish anything you want, right? We hear that, you've heard that.
They should remember the times they struggled, and how all of them were losers at least one time. Johnson describes his time in college football when he was put in his place. He felt humiliated and strove to become better. Early in The Rock's wrestling career, he was once treated like a nobody, or a pawn to the producers. Before The Rock's shot to fame, he was once a rookie. One thing that allowed Johnson to be so successful is the amount of extra work and effort he gives his life.
Grateful for the opportunity, so when you go out there, I want you to smile. You can't smile enough.
And maybe some of the stuff that's worked for me might work for you. As you guys have your goals and ambitions, NBA championship, MVPs in this room, things like that, but then further on down the line. The first thing I would just want to say is this idea and this notion that you can be anything you want, you can accomplish anything you want, right? We hear that, you've heard that from the time you were little boys. You're already incredibly accomplished. You can win an NBA championship, MVP of the league, you could become president, you could become governor, you could be in entertainment, you could do Charles, and you could do Shaq, you could do that, you could do whatever you want to do. You guys know that. The thing that has worked for me is to remember the hard times. And I'm sure you guys all have your processes. And again, I'm going to tell you what's worked for me. So before a big movie comes out, back in the days when I was wrestling with WWE, a WrestleMania match, anything big that would happen, I would always take a moment and I just remind myself, I would remember that. And it allows me then to be present in the moment and understand, holy shit, the stuff I have around me right now, this is the shit that I dreamed of when I was a kid. I am here. I played for University of Miami, played for great teams. Warren Sapp, Ray Lewis, they were my teammates. Warren Sapp was playing tight end that time. I was starting defensive tackle. Yeah, they moved him over to D-line. And he looked at me, he's like, yo, dude, I'm gonna take your spot. I said, you ain't taking my fucking spot. He said, I'm gonna take your spot. I said, no, you ain't. We battled, and he took my spot. Now, you can imagine how that, because there goes my opportunity. He went in, switched to defensive tackle, lit the world on fire. Well, what that did, it crushed me, it crushed my dreams. I had a piss poor senior year, zero production, no NFL, no combine invite, nothing. Finally went to the CFL, Calgary Stampeders, making $250 a week Canadian. Now, I had to send that shit home to my wife at that time. Had no money. So I remember that. When I got cut from Canada, I had $7 in my pocket. And I always tell that story. So now my production company is $7, advertising agency is $7, everything is $7. So I always remember that. What helps me is to keep the hard times in the front of my mind, because it allows me to go into these big moments with a different perspective.
It was a turning point in my career, and it really allowed me to grow, and it really allowed me just to be me and be anchored in with who I am. So when I first started wrestling, the idea was, well, why don't you call yourself Rocky Maivia? Out of respect for your dad, Rocky Johnson. I hated the name, and I thought, well, I just wanted to make my own way, and I wanted to be independent. I love my family, but I don't want to do it like that, because it feels like I'm trying to leverage their fame. The powers that be said, nope, that's your name. I was also told, when you go out and you wrestle, you have to smile. I want you to smile big. This is in the WWE. The idea was, I was a rookie in the wrestling business. I was the wrestling business is a term called babyface, which is a good guy. I was being groomed as a good guy wrestler. The idea was, you're grateful for the opportunity, so when you go out there, I want you to smile. You can't smile enough. And I thought, well, what if I lose?
I feel like for me, it feels seamless, because you prepared for so long. But it's just like you guys prepping for a game. That's the fun part. It's fun, man. People are paying their hard-earned dollars to come see you. They're cheering. They're going bananas out of you or on the road. That's fun. That's what you live for. I mean, that's the juice right there. The prep is where the character's made. So for me, the prep is getting with the director, getting with the producers, getting with the writers. So in essence, it's like getting with all your coaches and your different position coaches and all the meetings that you have to have, right? So that's the work you put in. The key for me was, where does it start? What's the anchor? I could have all these ambitions, and you guys have all these ambitions, which is great. I'll play this role, you'll play that role. I'll execute this thing, and it'll come out this summer. You guys will execute this thing during the summer, right, when it's time to really put in a lot more work. But the key with me is just always finding what the anchor is. Getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day before anybody else and grounding my thought process is in the no one will outwork me. No one. I love and I respect you guys.
Well, that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and consider subscribing for more motivational videos.